Hello, welcome to our EFT tapping session for feeling overwhelmed. So, my name is Stella and I'm from Soul Space Unlimited. I'm a holistic practitioner. You might have come to my sessions before, or you might be brand new. Welcome, whatever your situation is. So, I sometimes share Qigong on here, which is a gentle breath exercise. And I also often share EFT tapping sessions, which is what we're focusing on today, as well as other elements like coaching and mindfulness. So today we're focusing on something really important: overwhelm. It's something that a lot of us struggle with. It's a collective issue, and it's quite potentially, you could say, a modern issue as life becomes very overstimulated. There's a lot going on in the world, and also there's a lot coming at us with information and technology, maybe more than ever. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, please know that you're not alone. You're in the right place. And EFT, emotional freedom technique tapping, is a really, really great mind body tool, mind body therapy that will support you to clear some of that charged energy from your system. So, I'll explain a bit more about EFT for those that are brand new to it, or perhaps just want a bit of a reminder. Um, I'll also start with saying a little bit about myself and my journey. So, as I mentioned, my name is Stella. And I've come to this work, EFT, and exploring things and supporting other people with things like overwhelm because I needed that too. So, on my own journey through chronic health issues, living with chronic health symptoms like fatigue, I discovered I had to change my life around, and I discovered tools like this and things like hypnosis and mindfulness and nature and all these different holistic and alternative tools that are out there to support my own healing and to live optimally sort of healthy and balanced and content. So if you can relate to that, great, but you might have a different story. We all have our own story, and that's okay. Please know that you're welcome, whatever your story is. EFT is a really powerful tool, and it's evidence-based. So there's a more growing research around it, showing how effective it is to reduce stress, for example. So we're going to tap on meridian points around the system, similar to when you go to have acupuncture, if you've experienced that, and you've probably heard of it if you haven't directly experienced it. They put needles into acupressure points around the body based on the traditional Chinese medicine model, that we have this meridian system and we need energy to flow and to move, and that health issues, physical and emotional, mental, psychological issues are caused by blockages in this energy system. So if you accept this idea, or just be curious and open to it, we're all made up of energy. Everything around us is energy. So it's the idea that energy needs to flow around our system through these meridians, these streams that are processes, and life happens and it gets blocked and stuck. So we're going to be tapping on these meridian points around the body. You'll just follow me. I'll walk you through it nice and gently. And we're helping energy to move and shift. But as I said, evidence also shows for the research that as we do this, we reduce cortisol, which is the stress hormone. So that's going to help you with any overwhelm anyway, any stress in the system. And we combine cognitive statements. So we bring the body, the somatic, what we're holding in the body, with the mind, the cognition, the brain, because it's all connected. But a lot of practices focus on just talking, like talking therapy, or just body work like massage or other forms. So we're bringing them together, which makes it extra powerful. And the potential to shift your overwhelm energy today is really good. It's really exciting. Okay, so with that said, obviously overwhelm can be connected to all kinds of emotions, and it might stir things up as we tap together today. So I want you to really take really good care of yourself. Make sure that you are in a comfortable, safe space, that you have a nice glass of water or some kind of refreshment. You might want a notepad and pen because you might like to note some things down, but you don't need it. It's not necessary. But more important, I want you to make sure that you you listen to your body and your mind and what you need today. So if you do feel that it's a bit much, it's stirring up emotions, we'll check in on the scale. So you'll be guided to judge that. But if any time you need to pause this, go away, you need to come back. I know this, you might be watching this live, but because there'll be another recording, you can always come back to it and watch it another time. So don't, feel like you have to do it all at once. You can do this in stages. Okay. Sometimes you need to just go away and have a cuppa, and come back. But assuming that you are happy and content, we'll go through this session together, and we'll start by just doing a bit of grounding. So we're going to tune into the system, into the body, and we're going to give our overwhelm some imagery, and we're going to begin to explore and tap on that. Okay. If you've not done it before, it can feel strange, but it will become clear. So looking at overwhelm, I had a little Google to see, how do we define overwhelm? And we probably have different ideas around it. So what came up was overwhelm, to engulf, surge over or submerge, to overpower and crush, and to feel overpowered emotionally. So they're big, heavy terms, aren't they? This idea of being overpowered and crushed by something, anything. And when we feel like that, it's hard to find space. It's hard to find clarity and peace. So I would like you to just think about 3 small actions and steps that you could take to find a bit more space. So if you imagine that the overwhelm is this like heaviness, this thing that's crushing, and you need a bit of space, you need to step back. We need to just step back and take a breath. And sometimes that might be going for a walk. It might be, no matter how busy we are, making sure we take time just to sit down and do a bit of mindfulness, do something on the virtual village hall, seeing somebody, leaving the house. It could be anything. But I'd love for you to think of maybe 3 small actionable steps that you could take to create a bit more space in your life, to allow yourself to step back from whatever's overwhelming you. You might not be sure what's overwhelming you. It might just be a feeling, and that's okay. But how could you create a little bit more space? Remembering that creating a tiny bit more space through just a few deep breaths, even that's a step that you could note down. We can create pockets of spaciousness and relaxation throughout the day that when they add up, they make a huge difference. It's hard to see that when we feel overwhelmed. By the end of this session, I'm sure you'll be feeling much more spacious and light. But if you can note down anything that comes to you, 3 to 5 would be great. But you might find that as you go through this session or at the end, you get clarity and you might add some more to the list, which would be wonderful. And we'd love to hear about them. So please do share. Okay, so let's do a little bit of grounding together and then we'll go into some tapping. So with this grounding, I want you to make sure you're as comfortable as you can be, whether you're seated, laying down, standing. Just make sure you are nice and comfortable. That might mean you need to tune in with your body and actually check. Sometimes we're not really connected. So just tune in. And you can do that by placing your hands on your heart, taking some nice deep breaths, and just softening and relaxing on your exhale. So let's take a breath in and lift our shoulders up as high as we can. And then let it all go as you breathe out. So it's a way to remind your body how to let go and relax. Breathing in, bringing your shoulders up to your ears, and letting it all relax on the exhale. One more time. Okay. Continue the breathing and continuing to invite your body to soften. Remember that just a few percent of softening in the shoulders, in the tummy, in the arms, even in our fingers and our hands, we can relax areas of our body we don't even realize, we don't even think about. Invite the body to soften a few percent more. That's enough for change. And just connect to the feeling of the weight of your body. So this is a chance to let go a bit. Let go of some of the weight that you're carrying. Let gravity just do what it does and let your body sink down. And really set the intention to deepen your weight into that chair, sofa, bed, whatever is underneath your body. Just allow your body to really sink into it. And if your mind's wandering in different directions, that's okay. You're only human. It happens. And you can just bring your focus back to your body, the heaviness, grounding yourself, and feeling the material underneath you, the contact between your body and that material. And I want you to look to your right and just notice what you can see. Just observing and noticing. And I want you to look to your left and do the same. And then look up, see what's above you. Notice it. And then look down around you, like what's beneath you, what's around you right now. So this is a very simple exercise to help your brain see that you are safe. You're just checking out your surroundings. It will help you feel safer in your system. Even if you haven't registered it, it's a good tool to use. And something else we can do to bring ourselves into the present moment is to look around and list 5 things that we can see. So for example, I can see some flowers. I'll show you. Some lovely sunflowers here. And I can see a door and a key. I can see some stones and crystals, a blanket, a cushion, a plant. So just look around and notice what you can see in your space. Maybe 5 things. So this is another tool that can help ground and bring you into the moment. So if during this session, anytime you feel overwhelmed, too overwhelmed, then you can do that. You can look around and list 5 things you can see. Or you could even go a bit further and say 5 things I can see beginning with B, or 5 things I can think of in my house beginning with T. Or you can do the looking around you and seeing, what you notice. So they're really good regulating tools that will help regulate your nervous system if you feel overwhelmed. So feel free to do those. Okay, so let's give your overwhelm a bit of imagery using our imagination. So our mind all works in different ways, and most of us are visual, but there's a small percentage of the population that are less visual or just don't visualize. So if you're one of those, that's okay. Use whatever you can today. So I'm guiding you, but you use your intuition as well. So I'd like you to close your eyes, and I want you to connect with this idea of being overwhelmed. And it might be really clear. You might think of different things that are going on in your life, or it might be more of a vague sense of feeling in your body of being overwhelmed. But we want to focus on how it shows up in your body if you can. And if you're not sure, then just guess. So if you can't feel it in your body, just guess where it would be. That is absolutely fine. I want you to guess or to feel where the overwhelm sits in your body. Is it your shoulders? Is it a tightness? Is it a heaviness on your chest? Is it a gurgling in your tummy? Just notice what your body shows you when you think about this overwhelm. The body's really wise, and it's always trying to speak to us, but we're not always very good at listening. And that's usually when we get overwhelmed, because it's built up and up and up, and we've not listened to the early signs of stress or worry or anxiety. And because we've not listened, then it just becomes overwhelmed. So the idea is to prevent that and to listen to the body as often as we can and find the relaxation and the space for peace. But we're working with, when we've built this up and it's got to the point of overwhelm. So I want you to, once you've decided or found where that is in your body, I want you to see what color comes to you. What color is this overwhelm? Is there a material, for example? Is it like heavy stone on your shoulders? Is it like a tight knot that's blue or red in your chest? Is it like bubbly volcano erupting in your tummy? Just see what your mind presents you. And it doesn't matter how silly it seems. So you're exploring material, texture, quality, color. And if you have a notepad and pen, you can note it down. You don't need to though. Okay. And I want you to give it a scale of 1 to 10, this overwhelm. So how overwhelmed are you right now? 10 being the most, 0 being the least. So I would suggest if you're an 8 or above, then you might need more one-to-one care and support to explore this overwhelm. If you're under a 7, then you're in the right place to explore it. But we just want to make sure if it's really high, that you're getting the one-to-one support that you need. So assuming you're okay to proceed, you can note down your number and we'll see how that number changes throughout the session. Sometimes when we focus in on feelings like overwhelm, they might get a bit bigger to begin before they release. So just be aware of that. That's part of the process sometimes. So let's go through the points, just breathing to begin. So the point that we begin with is the karate chop point. So we tap here, taking nice deep breaths. So we're moving energy. It's really important that we breathe to help it circulate. And as the energy moves, we might find we might start to laugh, we might cry, we might sneeze, we might cough, we might yawn. So these are all signs of energy moving, and it's very important that you let it move, that you don't hold it back. So let yourself cry, let yourself laugh. Okay, so at this point, we'll say something called a setup statement, which I'll guide you through. Then we go to the top of the head, taking nice deep breaths. And then we do inner eyebrows. So just where your eyebrows begin, a finger on each side. You can do it with one hand or two hands. Outer eyes, just where your temples are. Nice deep breaths. Under the eyes, nice deep breath. Under the nose. Under the mouth, just above your chin, just here. And the collarbone. So you've got a soft spot just under your collarbone. Again, you can do it with two hands or one hand. So we're just tapping here. If any of these points feel tender, then just tap them super gently. You can even just touch them and pulse them if that feels better. Under the arm, either arm is fine, doesn't matter which side. We're just tapping on the side. So if you wear a bra strap, it's just where the bra strap is. Just tapping on the side. If any of these moves aren't possible for you, it doesn't matter. If you've got limited mobility or a disability, it doesn't matter. The process will still work. You can imagine tapping on the point as well, which will really help. And then we're going to tap on the wrist. So either wrist is fine. We're just tapping across, like so. And then we're tapping either side of the thumb. So just where your nail bed begins, we're tapping on both sides. And I'll say next, and then we go on to the next finger. Next. So we tap the next finger, next, next, next. Sometimes we'll do this point, which is just following down the little finger and the ring finger and holding here. But I'll guide you through that. So they are the main points we work with today. Okay, so just ground yourself for a moment. If you can, feel your feet on the ground. You might look around and notice what you see. And I want you to focus in, closing your eyes, on the overwhelm in your body, the color, the shape, the texture. And I want you to start tapping the outside of your hand and repeat after me. Even though I have all of this overwhelm, I feel it in my body. Right now, I'm going to try to accept myself anyway, even though I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I want you, don't repeat this bit, you're just listening. I want you to know how that shows up. So really list it out loud, the color, the texture, the quality of your overwhelm. List it out loud, make it as specific as you can, because that will make this process as healing as possible. Take a nice deep breath. And right now, I choose to accept myself as much as I can with this feeling. I'm only human. Even though sometimes I feel really overwhelmed. And it makes me feel, what does it make you feel? How does it show up in your body, in your life? Just list that, get specific. List the colours, the material, where you feel it. And right now, I'm going to try to be really kind to myself. I'm doing my best. And I'm not the only one that feels like this. It's a human experience. Okay, top of the head, nice deep breath. So now we say shorter statements. Overwhelmed. I have all of this overwhelm. Tapping the inner eyebrows. So I want you to focus in on the feeling in your body, the imagery, the colour, the shapes, the quality, the material as much as you can. And repeat all of this overwhelm in my body. Outer eyes. All of this overwhelm in my life. Underneath. I feel really overwhelmed. Under the nose. All of my overwhelm. Under the mouth. List the colours, the textures, the qualities as much as you can. Just list that to yourself. Taking nice deep breaths. Just under the collarbone. So again, keeping the image, any imagery you have of this overwhelm or sensations or feelings or even sounds. And repeat, I'm really overwhelmed. I've been feeling overwhelmed by life. And if there's a specific thing that comes to mind that's overwhelming you, then you can say that out loud as well. All of my overwhelm. Tapping the side, under the arm. I feel so overwhelmed. Nice deep breaths, help it move and circulate, soften the body. Tapping the wrist. Life is so overwhelming. I'm overwhelmed by life. Tapping the thumb, so either side where the nail bed begins. I feel it in my body. Next. It's affecting my life. Next. All of this overwhelm. Next. I can't even think straight. Next. Because I'm so overwhelmed. So we'll do one more round, nice and gentle. Deep breath. I'm overwhelmed. Tapping the inner eyebrows. I've been feeling really overwhelmed. Outer eyes. And I feel it in my body. It feels like, what does it feel like? Where is it? Get really specific on the quality, colours, textures. This overwhelmed feeling. Under the nose. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Under the mouth. I wonder how else I could feel. So just ask the question. You don't need the answer. So just repeat, I wonder how else I could feel. collarbone. Nice deep breath, just under the collarbone. Right now, I feel overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by life. All of this overwhelm under the arm, just on the side. I've been feeling like this so how long have you been feeling like this? Is it days, weeks, months, years? Just acknowledge that, how long it's been going on. And that might bring up some emotions for you. Remember to just breathe and let it come. Tapping the wrist. I get overwhelmed. Am I being kind to myself? Or am I being hard on myself about this? So ask the question. You might not have the answer right now. It doesn't matter. We're just asking the question. Tapping either side of the thumb. I want to accept myself with this feeling. Next finger. I'm feeling really overwhelmed. Next finger. I want to accept myself anyway. Next finger. All of this overwhelm. Next finger. Right now I'm safe. I'm okay. Rest your hands. Take a breath. You might pop your hand on your heart. Keep the body nice and soft. Steady breathing. So when we tap, we're moving energy. And emotions are just energy. So we can move one emotion into another. So you may be feeling something different to when you started. Your overwhelm might have changed or moved in the body. You might have felt different emotions like sadness or maybe nervousness or maybe a lightness or a joy come up. As we move the energy, that's what happens because the emotions are layered on top of each other. So just know that that's natural. So get curious about what's going on in your body now. So if you were holding it in your chest, is it still there? Has it changed? So if you've got the pen and paper still with you, you can have a little go at writing about that. So is it the same texture or is there a new texture? What colour is it now? And remember the scale of 1 to 10. Where is the overwhelm on the scale now? If 10 is the highest. And there's no right or wrong. If the number hasn't moved or nothing's moved, that's okay. Sometimes a shift comes later. We've all got our own journey, so don't make it wrong, whatever comes up. You might notice those changes and acknowledge them. So we're going to do some more tapping together. But do you remember I said the more specific you can make this to you, the more powerful it will be. So I'm obviously doing a general session because I'm offering this for a community. So you can switch and change any wording you need to change. You can say anything you want to say. Make it as specific to you as possible. I'm just here as a guide. But we will bring in, we'll deepen it a bit and we'll bring in some more possibilities around what else you might like to feel. You see, in the coaching world, and particularly the NLP coaching world, we look at the use of language and also where we put our energy and our focus. So where we put our energy tends to grow that thing. So if we're focusing on what we don't want, like overwhelm, we might want to flip that and look at what we do want. So EFT is a way to acknowledge the negative, what seems negative, but really it's not, it's just energy. But we're acknowledging that so we can let it come up and we can create space for something lighter, more positive, more nourishing. Okay, that's what we're doing with self-compassion. Okay. So if you feel good to continue, let's do some more tapping. But remember, if you're 8 or above on that scale, then I suggest taking some time and getting some deeper support. But if you're good to continue, let's tap the outside of the hand. Either hand is fine. And it also doesn't matter how hard or how quickly you tap, just find what feels good for you. Take nice deep breaths. And repeat. Even though I still feel overwhelmed. Life can be overwhelming. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on in my head. And right now, I'm going to try to be really kind to myself. So that can bring something up for some of us. Self-compassion and being kind to ourselves. It can be challenging. So if you're feeling resistance to that, please know that's okay. When we say I'm going to try, that makes it easier. We can still say it because we can try, even if it's just a few % more kindness. Nice deep breath. Even though I get really overwhelmed, the world is overwhelming. Sometimes it feels too much. And I feel it in my body. Get specific about what you feel or how it shows up in your life or your head. And right now, I'm going to try to be kinder to myself because I'm only human and the world is a lot to deal with sometimes. I'm doing my best. And as you say that, I want you to acknowledge that you're taking part in this with lots of other people that also feel overwhelmed. We all have this shared human experience, so you're not on your own. Even though all of the overwhelm, sometimes it's too much. I feel it in my body. And right now, I'm going to try to treat myself like I would a dear friend, to show myself more kindness. I'm doing my best. Top of the head, nice deep breath. All of this overwhelm, I feel it in my system, inner eyebrows. I've been feeling overwhelmed. It's been going on for, so complete the sentence, how long it's been going on for you. Outer eyes, feeling overwhelmed. Under the eyes. I feel it in my body. So get specific, list where you notice it and feel it. Remember, just guess if you're not sure. Under the nose. I wonder how else I could feel. Under the mouth. I wonder if I could be kind to myself with this. And I wonder what that would look like for me. Collarbone. So remember, we're just asking these questions. We don't need the answer. The answer might come in, or we might have it later. Part of what we're doing for EFT is we're engaging the cognition. So we are bringing the unconscious up. So you might get different answers and awarenesses. You might also get memories and thoughts and clarities. So just, be really gentle with yourself around that and note anything down that you might want to note down. Try not to overthink it. The important stuff will stay with you. And just repeat, I've been feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot going on in my life. There's a lot going on in my head, in the world. And I feel alone with my overwhelm. Under the arm, either side. Maybe I'm not alone. Having this human experience. I wonder how I could do things differently. I wonder how I could feel more peace. Tapping the wrist. But there's so much I can't control. There's so much overwhelm. There's nothing I can do. Tapping the thumb either side. Is that true for me? Just ask that question. Next finger. What if there is something I can do? Next finger. One small step that I could take today. Next finger. And be kinder to myself. Next finger. Take really good care of myself with all of this overwhelm. Okay, rest your hands. Take a breath. Again, you might pop your hand on your heart. And tune in with yourself, your system, your energy system. And just see what you notice. Anything that's moved. Have you had any emotions come up? Are you noticing yawning, tiredness? Sometimes we feel it moving around our body. We're all different. So note down anything you want to note down. And tune into that overwhelm that you noticed at the start. And again, has it moved? Where is it in the body? What is it looking like now? Has it lifted completely, or has it changed and got smaller? It might have even got bigger. And as long as it's feeling manageable, that's okay, because that can be part of the process of it coming up to be released. But just remember, whatever you're feeling, try not to make it wrong. So it is just energy. And when we tense up and we fight it and we resist it and we make it wrong, like I shouldn't feel this, that actually leads to overwhelm. It leads to more overwhelm. If we soften the body and breathe and acknowledge it's just energy that needs to move through, then we're going to find more balance. We're going to feel more content and healthier, and more relaxed as well. Okay. So it would be really good to do something that's called opposites. So what's the opposite to feeling overwhelmed for you? How do you want to feel? So if you had a magic wand and you woke up tomorrow and you felt however you wanted to feel, what would that be like for you? And what would the emotions be? How would you feel in your body? How would you carry yourself? What would you be focusing on? What would you be doing? So how do you want to feel? For example, for me, it might be I'd like to feel peaceful, at peace, inner peace. For you, it might be joy, excitement, calm, whatever comes. There's no right or wrong. Okay. Even though I feel overwhelmed, there's a lot going on in the world, and it feels like it's all coming at me. Right now, I'm open to the possibility of feeling more peace, relaxation, calm. So remember, make it specific to you. You can repeat what I say and add yours. You can just say what comes up for you. Even though I get really overwhelmed sometimes. And if I'm honest, I'm finding it really hard. Right now, I'm open to the possibility that I could feel different, that I could feel better. Nice deep breaths. And repeat, I'm not sure how or when, but I'm open to the possibility. I'm curious about how I could feel, even though I'm used to feeling overwhelmed. And it feels like, so get specific, how does it feel in your body? How does it show up? How does it affect you? Nice deep breaths. And right now, I choose to get really curious about how I could feel differently, how I could release this overwhelm and find more peace, more relaxation. more happiness. Even though part of me might not believe it, I'm curious about it. Top of the head, nice deep breath. But I feel overwhelmed. And I'm used to feeling overwhelmed. Inner eyebrows. I wonder if I could feel different. I wonder if I could find more peace. Outer eyes. No, I feel overwhelmed. And I can't control it. Under the eyes. I am open to the possibility that there's a different way to feel. Under the nose. When I came into the world, when I was a baby, I wasn't overwhelmed then. Under the mouth. I was free. I was open. I was relaxed. Collarbone, nice deep breath. And now I've learnt to be overwhelmed. And I wonder where I learnt it. I wonder why I learnt it. Somewhere along the way, I learnt to be overwhelmed. I learnt to do overwhelm. And if overwhelm is a skill, I'm really good at it. Under the arm, nice deep breath. I wonder if I could learn a new skill. Maybe the skill of relaxing. The skill of finding space in my life. The skill of letting this go. Tapping the wrist. But I can't let it go. I feel overwhelmed. If I let this overwhelm go, what would it be like? So I just want to say that sometimes, you might to that point have some things come up around, maybe it doesn't feel safe to let your overwhelm go. Maybe it feels like it's a way of keeping on top of things, making sure you get things done, keeping you on your toes. It might not be, but that's a common thing that comes up for people I support. So just be curious about that. See if there's any gold in there for you. You might note it down if anything comes up. Tapping the thumb either side. I've been feeling overwhelmed. Next finger. And I think I've got quite good at it. Next finger. And if my overwhelm has a purpose, next finger. I wonder what that might be. Next finger. I'm curious about that. Top of the head, nice deep breath. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. Inner eyebrows. And I accept myself anyway. Outer eyes. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed by life. Underneath. And I choose to be kind to myself with this feeling. Under the nose. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. Under the mouth. I'm only human. Collarbone, just underneath the collarbone. Nice deep breath. Sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I'd like to learn a new skill. Maybe I can learn to feel relaxed, calm, balanced, happy. So I'm just going to say there might be part of you that's like, no to all of that. That's okay. Acknowledge that. Acknowledge there's a part of you that has real resistance to the idea of having more relaxation, more contentment, more peace. And repeat, I'm open to the possibility, even if it's just 1%, that change is possible and that I could feel better. Onto the arm. And I want you to list all the ways, all the ways that you'd like that to happen. So the relaxation, the calmness, what you'd be doing how you'd feel, how you'd look, what your day, your perfect day would look like. Just list that to yourself or think about it as you tap. Nice deep breaths. Tapping the wrist. Maybe it's time to let this go. Just a little bit today. And maybe a little bit more tomorrow. Maybe there is a different way for me to be. Tapping the thumb. I'm just doing my best. Next finger. With all of this overwhelm. Next finger. I'd like to feel. How would you like to feel? Next finger. And I'm curious about this change. Next finger. And I choose to be kind to myself, no matter what. Okay, rest your hands, take a breath. Well done. Tune in with yourself, your body, your system again. Note any changes, anything that came up for you during that session that you'd like to remember and explore later, maybe through journaling or more tapping. So you can just tap and breathe. You could just take one point away from this and tap and breathe to help calm your nervous system. You don't need to do all the points to get benefits. Just tapping and breathing is really great for calmness and overwhelm. Okay, and explore, remember what you started with, the imagery, the sensation, where it was in your body, the number. So I want you to check in. Where is it now? It might be completely different. It might not be there. It might be there. It might be a bit smaller. It might be a different shape, a different color. It might have just changed and shifted a few percent. That's still change. So acknowledge that. And the number, whatever number you started with, where would you mark your overwhelm now? Okay. So remember that softening the body, relaxing and breathing and letting your energy and your emotions flow are really key to preventing overwhelm. Overwhelm is like, if you imagine, it's like it's kind of like a volcano. It builds up and up and up, and then it erupts. And we get quite worried about the idea that we're going to just explode and erupt. So if we tune in with ourselves and our body a little bit every day, just for doing some breathing. So there's plenty of opportunity on the virtual village hall to check in with sessions that are about relaxation, mindfulness. It might be a bit of yoga. It might be one of these sessions with me or Qigong or anything else that's being offered. Have a little look, some meditations maybe. If you can introduce or develop that further in your daily life, you're creating pockets of space, stepping back that will allow you to soften, to breathe, and to prevent that overwhelm building up. So if you do that throughout the day in increments, even once a day, but more is even better, you'll find, I expect you'll find, based on my experiences and the clients that I work with, that the overwhelm will get smaller. And over time, it will get smaller and smaller. Life can be overwhelming, and it's not your fault. But there are tools that you can use to support you. I hope you feel calmer after our tapping today. So we will just close with just a little grounding again. So taking a nice breath, placing your hand on your heart. I want you to focus on that opposite of the overwhelm. So the relaxation, the calm, the happy, the dream day, whatever it is that lights you up, that gives you a sensation that something else could be possible for you. Connect with that, see it, feel it. Feel those emotions, those sensations, see the image vividly if you can, hear it, taste it, smell it. Breathe nice and deep and soften the body. And I want you to pull that into your body. So imagine there's a color. There's a color of this opposite of overwhelm. So the color of relaxation, the color of calm, happiness, potential, hope, change. I want you to bring that color into your body, starting at the heart. So let it come into the heart, this color, and let it grow with your breath. Let it spread and move through your body, reaching your cells, your organs, your bones, your joints, your thoughts, everything that makes you up. It's all energy. Let this color, maybe it's a light, reach every part of you. And it might spread beyond your physical body and reach this area around your body, your whole energy system, your aura. And I want you to remember what you thought of before around the action steps that you could take to create more space in your life, to step back a bit more. And if you didn't come up with anything, that's okay. Maybe something will come to you now. It might come to you later. But encouraging this color, this brightness, this space, and stepping back to grow in your life. It's like planting a seed. And you can imagine that right now, planting a seed in your heart, a seed of spaciousness, of calmness, nurturing that seed, taking care of it every day as you create more space in your life. It's like watering that seed, letting it grow naturally, really nurturing it, taking good care of it, and seeing where it takes you. You can return to this session as many times as you need to if overwhelm is a big challenge for you. And there are other EFT sessions as well that you can explore on the playlist on YouTube. So thank you so much for joining today. Drink lots of water because we've moved energy. We've done a lot of healing work, and moving energy takes energy. So please drink plenty of water, keep yourself hydrated, really listen to your body and nourish yourself. Take extra good care of yourself. You might feel energized or you might feel tired. Tiredness after a session like this is quite normal. That's okay. So just listen to your body and what you need. And if you've had any emotions come up that have been stirred, you can journal on them. Remember that if you do feel unsettled, if it is a bit much, then reach out for support to somebody that's going to be able to support you one-to-one, whether that's a therapist, mental health practitioner, a GP. But just know that you're not alone. There are resources that you can access. Keep checking in with yourself every day as much as you can, softening the body, doing a bit of tapping and breathing, and doing what we did today with the hands on the heart and connecting to that energy, that color of the relaxation, the peace, whatever you're calling in. Connect with that every day and it will grow. Where you put your attention, it will grow. Okay, well done for showing up today, showing up for yourself and exploring this EFT tapping thing that might seem a bit strange if you're new to it. And I'll be back for another session soon. I look forward to sharing with you again. Have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend, and enjoy the spring sunshine.